What? New Twinkies hit song by Tay Zonde.
Really?
That's what it says. Click here for sound.
Chocolate Twinkies.
Chocolate cream. Wrapped in moist sponge cake, it is a dream. Chocolate cream.
Like, they realize that they, missed this by 4
Bake
years.
a drum and shake a tambourine. Chocolate cream.
Like, not even 4, like,
Open
10.
up.
Chocolate cream.
Chocolate cream.
Chocolate cream.
Done.
Ha
Chocolate cream.
Chocolate cream.
Fuck, their advertising campaign worked. Hello, welcome to 8-Bit Dad. I'm Zach Rosenberg.
And I'm Brian Ferguson. 8-Bit Dad is the modern parent source for real fatherly opinions, which is updated daily. In this show, we talk about some of the weekly top stories around the internet and on our site, 8bitdad.com.
That's right. We are the founding fathers of 8-Bit Dad, and we like to share parenthood news from across the internets. We tackle important issues with the fatherhood community, and I'm reading off a script. We feature exclusive interviews that you won't find anywhere else. God, I really need to engage the audience.
We need a teleprompter.
And we even blog our stories of personal triumph and sadness.
Yes, and if you have a story that you would like to see make it to our show and our website, you can email us at dads@8bitdad.com. Or if you want to contribute and write for our website, you can email us at contribute@8bitdad.com.
And you can follow us on Twitter, and we hope you do, and that's twitter.com/8bitdads. You can also like us on Facebook, and that's facebook.com/8bitdad.
You can hang out with us on Google Plus, which is Google. Nope, it's gplus.to/8bitdad because Google's URL is way too long and has too many numbers.
Totally.
And you can repin our shit on Pinterest, which is pinterest.com/8bitdads with an S. It's episode 26. It's the Zach birthday show.
The Neon Show.
And the Neon Show is the Psychoa show. Today's your birthday, so happy birthday.
It is usually tax day. So
I didn't get you anything.
Birthdays. You got me an extra late show today.
Yes, I did.
Which, that's fine.
It's fine.
It's my day.
It's all right.
I can come home at 3 p.m. That's fine. It's probably not fine if I come home at 3 p.m.
No, probably not.
Check to see if I'm kicked out yet.
It's probably not cool.
Yeah, no. We're good, though. We're good.
Good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so, some interesting stuff happened this last week, in case you don't know, in case you're not involved in our personal lives, and we don't share our personal lives that often.
Totally.
Except on Twitter, twitter.com/8bitdads. Zach, you did a phone interview.
Yeah,
this
phone.
past week.
It's a phone roundtable. We had talked about this back on show.
Right.
You can fill that in with a real number later. 20.
31.
I don't think we're not even there yet. We talked about this 3 months in the future on show 31. We talked about this a couple shows back where this whole Huggies blah 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 that went on. They promised to re-engage the fatherhood community when they had new commercials coming out by having a roundtable discussion over the phone with fathers. So I was part of that. There was a call before us at whatever godforsaken time in the morning, because ours was at 12:30 Central, which was 10:30 a.m. Pacific. Okay. So there was a group before us, which means that they were probably at like 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Gotcha.
Most dads are on the East Coast anyway, so.
Can you talk about anything that you said on
I can talk
call?
about everything except for the actual commercial that we saw.
Okay.
Which was incredible.
Really?
They want me to say that.
Oh.
But no, they don't. They just don't want me talking about the commercial because it's not a final version. Which was kind of cool that they there we go with the cool again.
There we go.
We say cool so many times.
Yeah, if you want to count this episode for how many times we say cool.
Yeah, we should have a cool counter. Like every time you hear cool, drink.
Bing.
Bing, coffee. Or beer at this time. But It's nice that they didn't finalize their commercial until talking to us. It's nice to hear that a company was
thoughtful,
not just bouncing an already done commercial off of us. But what a rough call. I was on the line with, let's see if I can remember everyone that was on, since I don't have my notes in front of me. Whole bunch of people from Kimberly Clark and Edelman PR. A couple guys that made the commercial. And wow, were they either happy or sad that I complimented or insulted their commercial. If you know me, you know which side I fell on.
Yeah.
But there were like three of those dudes. One of them's name was Keegan. So that happened. So they were the Edelman guys, the Kimberly Clark guys. Some of the people were people that we'd talked to before, so they knew how much of an asshole I was to begin with. But then there were also the celebrity dad bloggers. I'm just saying that to make myself feel better. So there was me, so clearly not a celebrity. There was Charlie from howtobeadad.com. Huge celebrity.
Guy has his own...
he's an actor.
Own IMDb page.
Rick is an actor.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I haven't looked. I mean, what's he been in?
I don't know.
We'll look it up.
Let us
there
know.
was the Jim Turner, bobblehead dad. He's a pleasure to talk to, and he commands an audience.
Yeah, he does.
He's a good speaker.
Yeah, he's got a good story.
There was
a book.
single, in the radio show.
Yeah.
And a bunch of columns in newspapers.
He's a busy guy.
And he's got 3 kids. And cancer. So he's got a lot.
What did you have to say?
A lot on his plate.
That too.
I'm giving a little richness to his background.
He's
got a story.
He's got a story.
And he commands an audience, like I said. SingleDad.com, I think, was the other guy. I forget what his name is. I could probably look it up since I just said the fucking website and come up with his name.
And we do have computers. That's how technology works.
But I believe it was SingleDad.com. Maybe not. But also CookLikeADad.com. It is SingleDad.com.
What's his name?
That's what I'm trying to come up with. RJ something. I'd heard of him, but he doesn't talk about himself on here, I don't think. But because it's a community on this SingleDad.com.
It's making life happen again.
It is. Yeah, it's about single dads.
Yep.
CookLikeADad.com. That'd be not coming up for me. Something Jaramillo. Starts with an A on our RJ Jaramillo. That's good enough for me.
Probably good enough for him too.
RJ Jaramillo.
All right.
CookLikeADad.com.
Check it out.
SingleDad.com. There he is.
Hey.
Aeropostale shirt. Or something. But Richard RJ Jaramillo.
All right.
Thank you. Let's move on.
Okay.
And then some chick.
All right. So that was...
She does a baby podcast with her husband.
Okay.
Dan and Carrie or something.
Okay.
Started with a K.
All right.
But it was a pretty productive call. I was the asshole of the bunch. Go figure.
Cool.
But we talked to Huggies. They asked a whole bunch of questions.
I just
we
said
answered.
cool again.
It's a trap. It's like they say in writing, like in all my writing classes in college.
That's a trap.
Never. It is a trap.
Yeah.
We actually, I had Admiral Akbar.
Looks like I have a fucking hard nipple right there.
Well, if you do, cut some glass. But in my writing classes, they always said don't use the word good. Like whenever you wanted to use the word good, find another way to say it. Like, we need to find another way to say it.
Great. Cool. Oh wait, that's copy.
Yeah, we should just start saying great.
That's copy. I'm just gonna move it up there. Hide my nipples. What else happened?
Shit, who knows?
I got the new Star Wars Connect game.
Yeah, how's that?
It's tiring.
A lot of this, a little bit of this.
I'm actually kind of sore because I have never I haven't used those swiping motions before, and my shoulder hurts now. So make sure to stretch before you play Connect. Otherwise, you're gonna increase icy hot stock. Something.
How's that? Is that dancing game? Like the dancing game's really in the game, right?
I haven't seen it yet. I've been pointed through the story.
Oh yeah.
But I went to the GameStop by us, and I was assured by the guy behind the counter that they always said to me like witty banter when you're buying a game. Oh, cool, bro. Yeah. Like, oh, so you got I see you got the Kinect, man. Like that's pretty cool.
Totally.
You know about this game? Like they got this whole dancing thing. It's kind of off the wall. You know, they got the whole solo riding solo, and then like the Palpatine, and then he like was explaining this to me. I'm like,
you're like, I'm already buying it.
And
then as they take as they like ring it all up, they're like, anything else that you wanted to put on pre-order right now? Anything else that you're looking forward to? That's the corporate line that they use. Anything else that you're looking forward to in the coming months? Mass Effect 3? You're like, that's already out, asshole.
Oh, did you have this card? You have the power-up card and shit like that? I'm
totally. Like, you're like, hey, Captain Upside.
Can I just get out of the store without being tackled by them? Totally. So that was fun. I'm sporting the Caine's Arcade T-shirt. I went there yesterday.
That was awesome.
Yesterday morning.
I wish I could have gone. Just couldn't make it happen.
That's fine.
That's fine. He's better off without you.
We were representing in the morning. I went down there in the morning, and boy, that is a rough neighborhood.
It is East LA.
It's
famous from the movie Born in East LA, which was a rough movie.
I got another post that I'm gonna post a follow up and some video that I took.
Cool.
And a lot of people were videotaping the scene and getting interviews with his with Caine and his dad George. Mm-hmm. But not a lot of people got not a lot of people. It looked like were filming other people in line. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like what I did. Is I got my video camera and I maybe interviewed 8 or 10 people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just kind of asked them we'll play the video that I don't have right now.
You have arrived.
Where is it? Oh my god.
Father's here, hear the yell, back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes and rockin' blues, climb the fence, books and pens, I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Walk with me, Susie Lee, through the park and by the tree. We will rest upon the ground and look at all the bugs we found. Safely walk to school without a sound. Safely walk to school without a sound. Here we are, no one else. We walk to school all by ourselves. There's dirt on our uniforms from chasing all the ants and worms. We clean up and now it's time to learn. We clean up and now it's time to learn.
Yeah, so I just basically asked him, how far did you drive? When did you see the video? And everyone saw the video this last week.
Yeah, totally.
It went viral and got, thousands of views, every day.
And you know what? Good for that film guy. The film, what is that?
Nervin. I think his name is Nervin, like Nirvana, but not without the A. Nirvan. Mullick.
Good for him.
Yeah,
everyone's obviously good for Caine. Obviously good for George.
Yeah, I mean they're the stars.
Filmmaker, man, you gotta when you're a filmmaker, you gotta you don't wait for lightning to strike. You make lightning strike.
Yeah,
and he certainly fucking did.
He's one of he's one of the other heroes in this story because
he's like the Wes Anderson of West LA.
he made it happen, and it was just awesome to have this.
Because this was what I was going to say before the show, and I always like to save my negativity for the show. But I mean, let's be honest about Caine and his arcade. Caine's doing something that a lot of kids do. Now, Caine's doing it he did it to a very impressive amount. This dude crawls inside the boxes and feeds the tickets through.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of kids out there that make their own stuff and make their own fun, and they kind of get that DIY thing.
Yeah.
So in a way, Caine's story is really effective because it's kind of like the every kid story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but,
it's
you know,
also,
and there's a lot of kids that end up having to go to work with their parents, especially like during summer break, and like they have to make their own fun, and especially like in a place like a used car parts shop, like you got to make your own fun. You got to like feed the Dobermans in the junkyard or something. Like,
well, he actually made a.
So the film guy, I mean, he like really.
Yeah.
It's like two parts that like you got to have like the
story,
situation and then the person to present it.
Exactly. But yeah, I took something that they didn't feature in the video, in the initial video that Nervin shot, is that he has like this
slaves.
Whips them. He makes all the cardboard boxes like that. No, he has this cardboard box on a skateboard, and he's got like little things written on it, like water, like I think some other like candy bars or chips or something like that. And he would go up and down the street with this box of like stuff and like try to sell stuff to the workers on the street, because that whole street is filled with auto body shops, glass. It's just it's a severe industrial graffiti ridden area
and a neighborhood.
It's compared to where we live, it's pretty, I mean, it's contrast.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's
you go there and do your job and hopefully go somewhere else when
I mean, I was in the morning, like I got there maybe like about 8:30, and I was driving up and down the streets before any other shit happened. Before like it got crazy, and I initially drove past it and was like, "Where the fuck is this place?" Because I was expecting to see like this big sign, whatever, but it just looked like an ordinary shop. It was totally organically just amazing to be there in the morning, where people were just like, I just saw this video of this kid and I just came down here. You know, and
that's always incredible when you can get people to go to an uncomfortably not incredible neighborhood.
Oh my god, it's
for something like this.
It was so organically awesome to be there in the morning. I don't know, it looked like it was crazy in the afternoon.
And this kid, I mean, he's going to college.
He's probably going to go to UCLA. I asked his dad, George, like, so, you know, where do you think he's going to be going to college?
And George was like, anywhere, have some money. Now that we have some.
But he said probably UCLA because of where they debuted the video and how they had this DIY, you know, kind of film festival or whatever.
This is really good. I mean, this is exceptionally good for George, the father.
Yeah.
Because as the video said, business has not been going well. Because
no, they barely have any walk-up customers. They barely have any walk-up customers because it is a rough neighborhood.
And the internet's kind of just taken that industry. I mean, you can go.
Well, he sells his shit on eBay.
He goes to eBay now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because saying, I guess it's been getting worse and worse because of that sort of thing.
Yeah. So
nice that like that kind of saved. I mean, because, you know, every father's worry, especially nowadays, is that
college is so expensive.
College is so expensive,
especially for UC schools.
More and more and more expensive, and jobs are paying less and less and less, and housing is more and more expensive.
Yeah,
I wonder sometimes how we're going to do it.
I know it's
kind of bumming me out at this point. But, so, but you know, that was awesome that you were able to go down there. I almost packed my kid up and came with you, but I just felt like my kid is 3. He would have just destroyed Caine's Arcade, and I would have been chased out of there. People would have been throwing their shoes at me as I'm carrying my kid running down the street.
I think he would have. I think he would have liked it. I really think he would have liked it.
I want to make one of those. I'm going to make one of those arcade games.
You should. There's a lot of people that are doing that. We
have a ton of like Avon boxes. My wife sells Avon, which incredible products at incredible prices. Get at me, dog. But we have a ton of Avon boxes at home, and so I immediately started thinking. I was like, "Oh shit! I can make like a soccer game where I can like cut a hole in the top of the box and like turn it upside down so the ridges are up there and make the field, and then flick the ball." And I was like, "Shit! I'm doing it." Cut the bottom out and make it like an incline so the ball returns to you when you get it in the goal. Yeah. Cut a hole in there.
Exactly.
Get my kid to crawl inside and feed the tickets through.
I think one of the.
Did you get a fun pass when you were there?
Oh yeah,
it's like $2, right?
Yeah, let me go get it.
So you got a fun pass, right?
I did. I got. Shit. This is the fun pass right here.
It certainly looks fun. It's number 25.
It's number 25
for the day.
He had to make more fun passes because they ran out. because
Well, it looked
everyone
like in
was
the video,
taking.
it was like a taped up piece of shit. I mean, no offense, Caine.
It's a piece of cardboard with paper on it.
I love that like George
So awesome.
didn't co-opt everything and like do everything by computer. Like everything is still done like by hand. Everything is still done like handwritten with like a black Sharpie.
Yeah.
Like I love that. Like everything looks so like handcrafted.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't look
computers.
It is handcrafted.
The only computers that they had there were calculators.
was George's like one more on eBay.
Well, he has a computer
You
in
need
the
a
back.
carburetor? Click.
He has a computer in the back, but up front, there's nothing.
Sold.
God damn
I
it.
guess you don't do that on eBay. Okay, sorry. Oh, shit! There's someone in the chat room. Hold on.
Hold on. Holy shit. It's
You just go. I'm gonna
just chat. So yeah, so this, oh my god, this he has like these games. We're talking about this way too long, but
Yeah, we don't have to cover stories this week.
it was just so awesome just to be there. But yeah, he even like made that claw game with the piece of
hook on
string.
it, I saw that.
He calls it the mechanical claw.
It's like so unmechanical.
It's so fucking awesome, like that he does that.
Oh god.
And like there's another coin game that he has set up where like you roll a coin down into this box and you have to like get it into these like little circles and you win something at that point if you get into the circles or whatever. And on the sign it says like play responsibly.
Yeah, I think I saw that in one of the pictures.
And I asked George, I'm like, dude, where did he come up with this? And he's like, oh, it was from a lotto ticket.
Yeah. Kids pull things from random places.
Yeah, it's so just
Did,
the little
did-
signs. Are so great.
Did your wife tell you, this is kind of on the topic of kids say the darndest things, did your wife tell you that yesterday, like when she came over, I told her, I'm like jumping into wormholes here.
Yeah.
So yesterday we were watching TV. We were playing the Wii,
Yeah.
me and my kid. And at one point he pointed to something in the game and he said, did Brian bring that? I was like,
In the game?
what do you mean? Yeah, we were like playing Mario Kart or something.
Oh.
And he pointed to like one of the motorcycles. He's like, did Brian bring that? I was like, what?
How did I bring that?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I'm like,
I wasn't even there. What are you talking about?
what do you mean did Brian bring that? He goes, is that Brian's? Like looks at me like he's so serious. I'm like,
It is.
no! I mean, sure, yes.
Yeah,
Go.
it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Go. Press the B button. You know, like, I just didn't like... Kids just come up with this stuff where they hear, like... He says now... My kid also says, like, he'll stop in the middle of something and say, passion for fashion. Because that's on a commercial, like, on TV. They just pick up these things and, like, just read, like say them at just the right times.
Oh my god. Passion for fashion.
Passion for fashion.
So I'll have an article up probably Monday or by the time this podcast hits.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It's going to be called Caine's Arcade, Fun Pass and Fun Times, and I'll throw
Fun pass and fun time.
I'll throw my pictures up there, and we'll put the video that I took, the interviews with people that you just saw earlier in this video, a little clip of that. We're not going to show the whole thing. But yeah, you'll see the neighborhood, just my walk towards, Caine's Arcade from my car, and I drove a BMW there, and I was scared that I was going to. I was kind of scared that I was going to be on blocks by the time I came back.
Riding a cab back home.
But yeah, man,
We need helmet cams.
we totally
Those
do.
things, you know those.
We can get
We
those
need
on.
to do that. God, can we fucking do that?
We can get those on ThinkGeek.
Well, they have them at like Best Buy, like the
they do?
extreme
Oh
sport
yeah,
cams.
okay.
Like the bullet cams that you put on the side of a helmet. I will wear a helmet. Whenever, can you imagine going to lead up with a helmet on?
Oh,
The
dude,
camera on the side of it.
so awesome. We got to do that.
I'll bite that bullet.
So
It's my birthday. Give me a
we-
camera. It's
yeah.
my birthday.
It's his birthday.
Helmet cam.
Or that Nintendo coffee table. Whatever
Whichever
comes
one you
first.
want.
But yeah, great experience. I wish there was more stuff like this for us to go to and cover. But anything like this in the LA area that's within 100 miles, I'm fucking driving to it. So if you got a tip, send it to us at dads@apatdad.com.
Totally.
Podcast question of the week. What do we got?
Something about religion and kids.
All right.
Man, I knew I was opening up a shitstorm with this one, but I didn't know that our own Justin Aon was going to start going for the neck on people. He's in the chat right now, so I could say it.
All right.
But it was, how early is too early for serious religion in kids? I kind of had this idea. I knew I was phrasing it in a rabble-rousing way that would get responses. It was stemming off of this story of a couple, and if I could load the story up, you get there.
Too soon?
But this, fucking A, god damn it! Okay, Blake and Lauren Jarrell. I forget what state they're in, Texas, Tennessee, somewhere. But Blake is a Methodist, Lauren's a Presbyterian. They got a divorce, they have 2 kids, 5 years old and 7 years old, and Blake said, please, 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 don't get these kids baptized until they understand the severity of baptism and what it means and the significance of it, and blah, blah. He didn't even say don't raise them Presbyterian. He just said don't get them baptized until they understand what they're doing.
That's kind of, I mean, that makes sense to me.
So she gone and done it.
Oh.
And so he took her to court, and judge sided with them and said, like, that's a major decision that you made on your own without your husband, and you're not allowed to do that. So she faces jail time and a fine.
Isn't that like kidnapping too?
20 days of jail time.
Ooh.
And a $100 fine. Up to $100.
That's not bad.
That's not too bad. 20
like
days
a
in jail.
traffic ticket.
20 days in jail, let's be honest, is kind of like an enriching experience.
That's pretty brutal, though.
But, yeah, anyway.
So what did Justin say?
Everything. There's like 15 comments on this. We are not going to be able to read this whole thing. But, you know, there's 2 camps here. Some people were saying, go ahead and just raise them how you want to raise them, because if it's your faith, it'll be your kid's faith. Some people, like Justin, were saying kids are born kind of a blank canvas.
Like atheists.
And,
but I don't know if... See, atheist is kind of like a religion of believing in nothing.
Oh, yeah. Atheism is different than...
Just blank slate.
Blank slate, yeah, totally.
So, sorry, Justin.
Justin's in the chat right now and says that Jesus hates babies.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know if that's true, but I'll take it.
Depends on if
up, or is it
that's the coffee
machine?
maker.
Okay.
It might be Jesus.
Justin says if you wait until people make rational choices until they're exposed to religion, they would think it was a little insane. And then after that said, indoctrinate all the children. Indoctrinate all the children.
Good job.
You know, oh gosh, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm starting to raise my kid Catholic.
Okay.
I'm not all that enthusiastic about Catholicism, and they certainly did fuck with me during our wedding and, like, baptism process.
Oh, yeah?
There's no one I hate more than the church. And yet I'm raising my kid in it. Because, you know, it's like there's a good backbone of a faith-based system. You know, Catholicism would be great if it wasn't for the people. It's basically the way it goes.
Or the scandals, or the just...
Child raping and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not a good scene, man.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's like you want to raise your kid with something. Like, okay, so religion, this is something my dad told me years ago. Religion answers 3 questions, and I'm going to start with the pinky. That's how you know it's, like, intense. It answers 3 questions. Where did I come from?
3 questions.
Where am I going? And what's my purpose while I'm here? So I suppose if you can answer that without religion, then that's fine. Like, there's a lot of scientific-based people that can answer those 3 questions on their own and say,
what are the
where I
questions
came
again?
from, where did I come from?
Yeah.
Where am I going? And what am I doing while I'm here?
Vagina, vagina, vagina.
That is exactly what you're doing while you're here. If you have a kid, you at least did it once, and it is where you came from.
Is that a religion now? Did I just make up a religion?
I don't know if you want to go into a vagina to die.
Well,
this show's going in interesting directions.
Speak for yourself.
So we're at 32 minutes.
Yep.
Justin says, "My mom, death, don't be a dick." And he answers the questions.
It wasn't.
That was believable.
Wait, what did he say?
My mom, death, and don't be a dick.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm coming, where I'm going, what I'm doing.
There you go.
So Remy answered, and he said, "It's my humble opinion that if you call yourself, whoa, sorry, tongue-tied.
Yep.
But it's my humble opinion that if you yourself can't live up to the morals and standards of your own religion or spirituality, you shouldn't subject your children to them. I think if you can't take things seriously about your faith, how can you possibly believe that you can subject someone else to that belief? I'm not saying hide your faith from them, but just be a good example." That's good.
That's pretty
be a
good.
good example.
Yeah.
Remy's also a hippie. So
there you go.
don't fucking believe him. Don't take his word for it.
He
believes in nothing.
He prays to the sun.
Sarazim.
Yes.
Sarazim.
And you're gonna fuck with me on this.
Sarazim.
You said
wrote a whole lot.
What Wait, what did you say? He said something in another article that you were going to pronounce her name wrong. It's Sarah.
Zim.
But we'll bleep out her last name just for security purpose, privacy.
Because the people that come after our viewers. So she said, we've been struggling a lot with this over the past few weeks. This happens. This is common amongst families that have like dual religions in the family.
Right.
Or even single religions of people that are maybe one's more faithful than the other.
Well, both of her kids are like talking and they understand stuff now.
Yeah.
So I knew her kids when they were little lads.
Lillins.
And
Younglings.
now that they're in this realm of possibility for religion, I think that
yeah, she said we're not religious.
With it.
She said we're not religious. Both raised some form of Protestant, but not practicing. Mm-hmm. But I love my parents. Oh, she didn't say she loves them. Sorry, didn't mean to. So, but my parents are extremely active in their church and take Halen as much as they can. Is that a drug? Oh, that's her kid name, maybe?
Yeah, it's from Van Halen.
Okay, got it. Really?
Yeah.
David Lee Roth.
It's awesome.
The notorious DLR. She gets so excited about going and comes home telling stories and asking questions about what she learned. Kids are really like stoked on religion because it's like when you learn stories and fables and things like that. I'm excited to have my kid learn, even though we're going to raise him, predominantly Catholic in Catholic schools. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for him to talk to my dad, who's a rabbi, a Jewish rabbi, as opposed to like just a rabbi of whatever. But,
I think that's pretty cool that you definitely have someone in the family that has
it's like a leader of the faith.
Well, yeah, that's a very strong representation of another religion, and he's growing up knowing that he's not afraid of your father, his grandfather. So it's kind of like
we should get some Muslims in the family.
it's kind of like he's being exposed to like, oh yeah, these people aren't bad. Mm-hmm. These aren't bad people. They just have different beliefs. And if you can instill that belief in him, then he's good to go.
Yeah. Who else was
Lizzie Savage. Lizzie Savage. Let's see. She began praying with her kids when they were in utero. She was Catholic, raised Catholic, but spent many years researching different religions. She chose Catholicism after researching prayer as an adult, and she's going to raise her kids the same way. She likes the way the church recommends teaching children, baptized at birth, just in case. She's all about just in case. And to welcome them into the community where we have a common faith. So, she's of the opinion that, she's going to be going Catholic and right and dirty.
Heather says she thinks any time's a good time to introduce religion. Doesn't have to be organized religion, but as a believer myself, I think they should know there's a creator God who created them for a reason, and that they are loved by this creator. I think that's probably the problem that a lot of people have, is like the idea that, like the creationism versus evolution idea.
Yeah.
She said, yes, teaching about God does give you, as a parent, a go-to for questions about why things happen. Why does it rain? Why is the sky blue? Why do people or pets die? But even more, we should know that there is a God that loves us no matter what, and who will forgive us for anything if we only ask. We absolutely had our children baptized in Catholic, and I teach them about God and how God works in our lives. It's fair?
Fair. Everyone has their own
there's a
beliefs.
Captain Asshole here, Justin, saying that all children are born atheists.
Who's the guy that disagreed with him? Vizirion.
Vizirian. Justin said, if you're using religion as a way out for difficult questions like where did grandma go, or why did bad things happen to good people, or why is the sky blue, then you start as soon as they ask us questions. He's a cynic and a heathen, he says, which he's been writing for us for about 2 weeks now. I'll say yes.
Yes and yes.
If they're going to be religious, it should be something they come into on their own, not drilled into them from when they are too young to know that fantasy creatures like unicorns, elves, and angels don't actually exist.
And then Lizzie says, but unicorn, elves, and angels do exist. I may be 31 years old, but I still believe in Santa too. My mom taught me if you believe, you receive, and every year I got presents.
Yeah, Justin just said in the chat that that why do we need to go to for these questions? There are scientific explanations for all those. Like why did grandma die? Like cancer.
Yeah.
Like tuberculosis. Bitch had it coming.
Too many fun passes.
Too many fun passes. She tried all 500 plays.
And yeah.
So I think we're probably out of time for the show.
All right. So you already covered that. So let's
just skip the show today.
Let's just skip the show. Next story.
First story, Caine's Arcade.
We already did that.
Let's go.
Next story.
Next story was from Tom Burns.
Tom Burns.
I just want to mention this. You got to read it. You got to read it to understand it. It was the Unpretty Portrayal of Dads in the Disney Princess movies, Part 1 and 2. It was like a day 1, day 2 thing, which I really wish I didn't do, because at like 11 p.m. on day 2, I was like, fuck, I haven't gotten it up yet.
And you promised that there was going to be another article.
Well, totally. I got it up.
I'm like, next article, tomorrow.
I got it up, unless you were on the East Coast, in which case it went up at like 1 a.m. But you really got to read this. You got to read it to understand it, but Tom does an exhaustingly complete job of going through the Disney princess movies and talking about the portrayal of dads in them.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, and by that I mean whoever the 2 commenters were saying, I think Lizzie Savage was one of them. Maybe not. But someone said, like, maybe I'm disagreeing with you on this, but maybe you're going a little too far. And it's possible. The Disney princesses movies have come under a lot of scrutiny lately. And, sometimes, yeah, sure, it's kind of like, fucking just enjoy them and show your kids these movies. And if you're a good parent and you pay attention to your kids and you parent them, obviously that's going to be more powerful than if you sit them in front of, Sleeping Beauty and go bang it out with your partner, like in the other room. I don't suggest you do that. I suggest you sit down and say, yes, she is a weak representation of female blah, blah, blah. But isn't it a great movie? Look at that talking crab. Or whatever.
Under the sea.
So,
Chocolate rain.
Chocolate rain. So check out Tom Burns' Unpretty Portrayal of Dads in the Disney Princess movies.
Yes.
It was a good one. It was a good 2, actually.
It was a good 2.
And I did the pictures, so if you like them, it's this guy right here.
Okay, so that's it for our stories for the last week that were...
That's right.
Whatever.
So
there were other interesting articles and news that
There's a lot of stuff going on this week.
And one of them was...
my leg cramping up was one of them.
One of them was Beta Dad.
Beta Dad's epic burn on single dad laughing Dan Pierce. This was something that... Do you mind if I put my foot up on your table here?
That's fine.
Okay, good.
As long as...
I'm, like, cramping up hard.
So, who is Single Dad Laughing for those...
Single Dad Laughing
for those 2 people that don't know.
For those people.
Because he's so popular.
Yeah. And he is by his own acclaim also. We, and by we I mean me, in our infancy of our website, I got to know Dan Pierce through going to his website. Dan Pierce is a single dad laughing. No, he's a single father who had adopted a child. I don't know when or how. I don't know the specifics of that sort of thing. But basically the idea is he's got a kid.
His name's Noah.
That's adopted. His name's Noah. And Dan took the internet by storm. Dan writes very SEO baiting stuff. And what that means is search engine optimized. He writes a lot of like really super obvious things like you are beautiful no matter what they say, words can't bring you down. That was actually Christina Aguilera, but Dan wrote the same thing. He wrote a post about like, so what, you're fat, don't let the world get you down, or something like that, and like...
Maybe he's just writing songs.
Like, okay, I get that, but like...
Really, really writing songs instead of articles.
The world probably needs to tell fat people they're fat.
What the world needs now...
It's Dan Pierce.
Is Dan
Sweet
and
Pierce.
Noah.
So, fucking right. So basically, I mean, he writes a lot of these posts about like fatherhood,
yeah,
and they're just so like sugar sweet and like to the point of ridiculousness. And like he goes out in public and talks about like how he saw like I mean, he wrote this post where he saw like 12 things I saw today, and it would be like 12 different people like beating their kids in public, and you're like, there's no way that you saw this in public today. There's no way that like over the course of one shopping trip you saw like 12 people yelling at their kids. Like, I go shopping frequently, and I never see more than one person, like, ever beating their kids in public. But somehow Dan sees it. So I initially thought that, like, I was the only person out there that hated this guy.
There's some people coming out of the woodwork right
I think some of Dan's articles are things that you need to read, and I'll stand behind that. In the article that I wrote about Dan Pierce in 2010 or something, I wrote that his article was over the top but necessary. And I still stand behind some of his stuff is over the top. Well, all of it's over the top. But some of it's necessary. Some people need to hear, don't fucking beat your kid in the grocery store. Like, love your kid. They're a gift. They're something that is incredibly important. And it doesn't matter, you know, if you guys are the same race, the different race, if you adopted him, if you shot him out of your dick and or penis and or vagina. You know, like, it just doesn't matter. Like, love your kid. He's a gift. He's blah, 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 blah. But Dan does a whole lot of, like grandstanding and a whole lot of, like, hey, guys, like, this post is going to change your life. That's actually what he said in the article that I had reviewed. He said,
and that's actually how he talks, too.
I've never heard him, but I can imagine from his pictures.
Yeah.
But he said, like, this post will change your life. And I was like, fucker, it didn't change my life. It just... But that's how he gets people to, like, forward it on, because people read that at 3 in the morning and they're like, oh, God, that did change my life. Forward. So, whatever. Anyway, Beta Dad, like...
Lit him up.
And you can go to his website, which is going to be down here now.
It's going to be down there.
Made you do it.
Yep.
But butterbeanandcobra.blogspot.com.
There you go.
And Beta Dad wrote about Dan and basically disproved a bunch of his, like...
Detailed.
A bunch of things, like, really super...
This article is long.
Can't even cover it because it's so long.
And it's not even the parenting.com article where you have to, like, click on next.
Totally.
Next, like 15 times to get to the fucking 15 list. We'll cover that next.
That's coming up next. So hit your buttons.
Hit your buttons.
But yeah, so Beta Dad lit him up hard. And I agree with everything. And it's funny because you look at the comments and it's a bunch of dad bloggers that are like, right on, brother.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's like, oh my God, this just totally made my day.
Yeah, exactly. Because all these dad bloggers kind of have a code, whether it's good or not, to not go after other dad bloggers. Because that's what the mom bloggers do, is they, like, get at each other's throats at every chance they get. Yeah. And so dad bloggers kind of got into this business going, you know, we should kind of just bind together instead of, like, go against each other.
Yeah.
But then once, like, the one little crack started with this Dan Pierce thing, it just, like, fucking flooded.
Well, this is one example that he uses where in November of 2010, Dan wrote one of his epic posts called The Small Side of Numbers. And it often looks at the power that each individual has to overcome with, often with impossible obstacles. And one of the stories he wove into his sermon involved his experience comforting a couple of women.
Oh, fuck that one, yeah.
Who had been in a fender bender. He pulled over and gave them some bottles of water he had in his car and chatted with them until they waited for the emergency personnel to arrive. And the snippet from his website says, it took emergency units more than 15 minutes to get there.
God, because they're in cars.
And when the first responder finally arrived, I was still the only person standing there with these women. The only damn person. He has to reiterate that.
Yeah, totally.
I bet more than 5,000 vehicles passed the wreckage in that short amount of time.
I bet.
It was a busy stretch of interstate.
Was that parentheses?
It was parentheses. Almost every one of them slowed down to sneak a peek. An incredible small handful of them stopped. Only one person stayed. This guy.
Yeah. One of the commenters was like, maybe no one stopped because they already saw that a guy was standing there helping him.
But yeah, Beta Dad, he's like, I just lost it. I wrote in the comments something to this effect, like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? He gave some ladies some water, then spent 10 hours writing about how awesome he is.
And then did you see he staged a photo shoot later?
Yes! He staged a photo shoot, Beta Dad got him to explain it. He said, well, my brother was in town from England, and after I wrote the post, I asked him to read it and came up with a photograph that he thought would go well with it. It wasn't taken at the scene.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was taken 15 miles away 2 days later. The post is in no way meant to show heroicism.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Or heroism. I don't know where I said that. There was absolutely nothing heroic about it.
Totally, yeah. He's totally because Dan Pierce is selfless.
Right.
There actually is no Dan Pierce. It's just a part of all of us.
Only to show that one person can make a difference when thousands of others aren't doing anything at all. There we go again with this fucking
Dude, and totally like. Did
See,
you see the picture of him that his brother took?
No.
It's like Dan standing there with like a forlorn look on his face, with holding 2 bottles of water as like a big rig whizzes by him.
Let me see. Hold on, I'm going to make sure right now.
But Beta Dad really, I mean, lit him up. Lit him the fuck up with facts.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like,
Come
you see
on.
that? Like, but lit him up with facts.
I'm gonna put dicks in that picture.
Everyone has been like holding 2 dicks.
Suck it.
Like everyone basically turned against Dan. Like I said, once this crack started, like everyone, blogger and a father, is Trey Burley, right?
Yeah.
He lit him up. Everyone
Blogger
in the comments
and a father
lit him
was
up.
Orrin Miller.
Orrin Miller, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Trey Burley is someone else.
Yeah.
So hey, gotcha, Trey.
There you go.
But everyone, I mean, like, you know, How to Be a Father was in the comments of this one. Dad Labs covered it on their show on Wednesday.
What did they think about it?
They had Beta Dad on the show. We should buy an iPad.
We should buy an iPad.
They had an iPad on their show and had Beta Dad like on the iPad.
That's cool.
Brought their boom mic down, which we need a boom mic. Also.
We also need that.
Well,
yeah.
I guess we have these.
Yeah.
But
that was an awesome thing that they did with that. It was pretty cool.
They really. But so everyone's kind of come out of the woodwork and was like, "Oh my god, totally true." You know,
But
Beta
you said
Dad,
mom. Look, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Beta Dad had to clarify that, like, and as most of these dad bloggers have said, we're not like jealous of the success that Dan Pierce has had. I'm jealous of the clicks, actually, because I sit down and write some things and I'm like, man, this is gonna be so fucking good. Oh my god, this is gonna change people's lives. And then it gets like 1 retweet and it's like,
It's me.
yeah, it's and I like. And my wife even doesn't share it, like, you know, like on Facebook. My wife's like, "Did you want me to share anything on Facebook?" I'm like, "Fucker, did you read it?" So, you know, like I get jealous sometimes. I think it's good. You know, it's good for us to admit that, like, yeah, we're jealous of the fact that this dude's become like the Oprah of fatherhood internet stuff.
But he's just kind of giving the
He's
industry.
on, like, the Babel voices.
He's
like,
kind of giving like in the. I can't
he
even
wrote a
talk
poem
right
to
now.
his kid. He wrote a poem to Noah on Babel voices, and I was like, "Fuck! I went to school for poetry, and I want to kick this guy in the nuts."
He's just giving us a bad name. He's giving
Yeah.
other fathers like a bad standard.
Well, especially if you get found out. Like,
Yeah.
I think someone was saying in the comments somewhere about like that whole I don't care,
Whatever.
whatever. But you read the Beta Dad. Read the
Yeah,
Beta
it's a
Dad
good article.
and then read Blogger Father's thing also.
Speaking of stuff that grinds our gears,
That really rustles our jimmies.
another parenting. This is a parenting.com article. And it's
Babel.com.
Babel. Sorry, parenting.
They're all the same.
We're not going to mention you. We'll mention Babel though.
We will now.
We like to engage Babel with their posts on Twitter.
God, we fuck them up on Twitter
And
sometimes.
they
are sick of us.
They do not respond. They retweet our
They
stuff
retweet
sometimes.
some. Yeah.
But that's about it. This is 15 things you should give up to be a happy parent. And we'll just kind of go through them
To
and
varying degrees of success.
give them some sweet clicks.
Some of.
One is personal space.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Next, then you have to reload the page to
Being
get to it.
alone in the bathroom is number 2.
Yes. You know how many times I've like tried to get my kid off my dong while I'm just trying to pee?
What do you do? Okay, here's the thing. If you're watching your kid and you're the only one at home, how do you
take
go
a
to the
shit?
bathroom?
Well,
Do you do it with the door open? Because I do.
Yes.
And I have to it's almost kind of like you're trying to rob a bank.
You should have seen me like.
You're going into the bathroom, you're robbing a bank, you're like, come on, let's go, let's
Yeah,
go,
let's
and then
go,
you're
let's
like,
go.
and then you know finish, and then kid walks in, and you're like,
the other night, it's like I have no problem him coming up while I'm like sitting on the toilet. Like,
is that your underwear, by the way?
My what?
Is that your underwear?
Yeah, it's me
That's
actually.
you, okay.
Like a little leopard with the red around it.
Yeah.
I like it. So we were like sitting. I was sitting there going, and you know I don't mind if he comes up, but he walks up and then he tries to like drive a car into the bathroom, and I'm like, asshole, get out of here! The bathroom's already the size of a postage stamp. When I'm sitting in it, it's the size of like a quarter of a postage stamp because I'm so fucking big. You can't drive a car in here. You're making me uncomfortable. He chased a fucking silverfish into the bathroom. Like, silverfish, if you don't know, is like a fucking bug. Like, there's this bug on the wall. He chased it around the wall and, like, kept, like, hitting the wall so it would run in a direction. It came, like, in the bathroom. I'm like, asshole. I'm, like, lifting my legs up. I'm like, get the fucker out of here. He's running into my pants. I'm going to have a silverfish on my nuts later.
Dude,
So he's doing that, and then...
the silverfish is just a fucking bug.
It's a fucking bug. These bugs we have in our apartment that eat everything.
It's like the scientific term. It's just a fucking
Just a
bug.
fucking bug. And then, then you gotta wipe. There's two ways to wipe. And this was covered on crack.com, I think, like years ago. Like
Have you ever taken a no wipe shit?
No, I don't believe I am the kind of guy that's able to do that.
Tosh.0 made a challenge. If you can, no, he said if you can take a no wipe shit, take a picture of your wear and send it to him. Like at the end of the day.
We're gonna leave that detail out. But I cannot wipe while my kid's watching.
Okay.
I'm a stander. I'm a stand and wipe guy.
How do you?
There's stand and wipe and sit and wipe guys. I looked this up because I thought maybe I was weird. I looked and this guy did actual research and he found that it's about 50-50. People that stand and wipe don't think that you're able to sit and wipe. People that sit and wipe don't think that you're able to stand and wipe. But about 50-50.
How do you get your arm in the toilet?
I can't. That's why I stand and wipe.
Who does that?
I do. I get in like a low horse stance and I get back there. And
No, I mean the sit and wipe. Who does that?
There's people that can reach behind them and do it. There's people that can reach under and do it. My parts don't move like that. My rib cage is like too wide to be able to get my arms around myself, and I can't. Like, there's no room. I mean, I'm a fucking huge person.
Have you ever sat in the toilet backwards?
So I was like, only when masturbating. I mean, what? No. And years ago.
I don't understand. Like,
anyway, I had to yell at my kid and tell him to go watch Batman. It was like the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, he keeps walking up while I'm trying to wipe, and I'm like, go watch Batman! Go out there and watch Batman! Go watch him! I'm trying to do something here! Like, sitting there, my wife's like texting me, and I'm like, leave me alone! I'm trying to fucking wipe, everyone! God damn it! Go away! So what's number 3 on the
We
list?
should just do like a whole show on Babel articles.
We should call it like the BabbleRipoffReport.com.
Oh.
Is that taken, that URL?
No, but what I was going to say is it's comfortable.
Backwards?
You know? Yeah.
I'm afraid
And you kind of get like a
floor.
little desk where you can read your magazines or
I'm gonna try that.
put your.
I don't
You
think
should do it, dude.
I'm in an apartment, so our toilets are like the size of like this coffee cup. Like, I mean, it hurt, like literally hurt when we first moved in. It hurt trying to get like my dick and balls in there it's the supersize show today, 55 minutes.
Number 3 is free time.
Totally.
Whatever. I have to wait for the page to load.
Awesome.
Number 4, caring what other people think.
I still care. I mean, I care what other people think. You take it in context. I mean, if someone says, "Hey, asshole, you shouldn't beat your kid in public," I'm not like, I don't get to care anymore because I'm a parent. Like, you should care.
Yeah.
Because there should be a consensus out there. You just shouldn't take it like God's honest truth.
Number 5 is vanity.
I clearly don't care what I look like.
Whatever. Number 6 is ego.
That's kind of a made-up answer.
So, man.
Define ego, Babel.
7, staying on schedule.
Which you still need to do. If you
Why?
get your kid late to
What?
school, they get kicked out. So
What is
you're
that?
wrong.
You're wrong on that one, dude.
Meredith Carroll, we're coming after you.
Number 8, control over your house.
Again, if you have no control over your house, you're doing something wrong. You give up a little bit, but you don't give it all up. You don't just go like, fuck it, throw anything anywhere.
Maybe like not having the time.
Glue on the clothes, no
clean.
fucking problem.
No, not having the time to clean is an issue, but not having control, that's a broad spectrum. It just should be like,
my kid's constantly
your
trying to
fucking
get
house
up on the
is dirty.
TV stand. Like, I get his ass off the TV stand. I don't just go like, well, I have no control.
Yeah. Number 9, disposable income.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah. Number 10,
What's
peace of mind. You know what?
That doesn't even mean anything.
Fucking drink.
So,
You know.
fucking drink. Why don't you have some absinthe?
Yeah.
And then come back and tell us.
Number 11, defining sanity as you now know it.
That's, of course, another throw-out answer.
Yep.
Keep it up, guys.
Whatever.
You guys made a list of 5 and been fine.
Sleeping.
Okay, yes.
Depends on your child.
Sleeping comfortably, at least.
Our child sleeps like a boss. 13, smoking.
Didn't really have to give that one up, so okay.
I guess that applies to a certain demographic of people, but it's like, I just gave up being white, so I was gonna try Indian.
I had to give up heroin, so
See if that cocaine addiction is gonna kind of go by the wayside for a little bit while I have kids.
coffee is ice cold.
But some parents don't think that's a good idea on intervention, so Watch Intervention and find out why you should give up drugs.
Yeah.
Number 14, not exercising.
Would you have to give up not exercising?
You have to give up not exercising.
So you have to exercise?
I don't know what that means.
We'll let that one go because it's possibly true.
Number 15, being less careful.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
What you say before you have kids, the only life you probably think about regularly, as in all the time, is your own.
Well, when you have kids, you'll probably spend more time thinking about them than yourself. But you must think of yourself too for their sake, whether it's getting a little tipsy in a restaurant and driving home, or not taking needed medication regularly when you're less careful.
Okay, so like 5 out of this 15 list are like dead on. There's like 3 or 4 that are like probably, and then there's like, I don't know, 15 of them that are like no.
Yeah.
So tighten your lists up. Tighten your lists up, Babel.
We got better lists. Justin Ion. He's got better lists. So check those articles out. Check them out.
He's bringing lists back to 8-Bit Dad.
He's bringing it. He's bringing sexy.
We used to have
back.
There was a day
lists.
where we used to have a lot of lists on our site, and then I wrote that fucking Vegas. Don't bring your kids to Vegas list.
And you got totally discouraged.
That was like the end of lists for me. I was like, humor and lists? I'm covering the stories where dads shoot their kids from now on.
Let's do it. Fun pass.
Fun pass. So, let's end the show here now that we're at 60 minutes.
All right.
See ya. Oh, no. You can... so if you have a story, if you'd like to...
That was our safety, just in case
it cuts. So you can contact us and suggest stories by emailing dads@8bitdad.com, and you can contribute to our website, and we pick up writers frequently. More frequently than you could ever know. And we reject 95% of them. Not really. So you can contribute and write for us, and you can email us at contribute@8bitdad.com.
You can like us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/8bitdad.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter. It's twitter.com/8bitdad. Repin our shit on Pinterest.
Dads.
Oh, 8bitdads. Sorry, Scott. Repin our shit on Pinterest. Pinterest.com/8bitdads.
And follow us on Google Plus, or hang out with us, or whatever you do on Google Plus. I don't even know.
Gplus.to.
Gplus.to/8bitdad. Thanks, Raul Colon. Did you see the pictures that he posted from like the Atlantic Ocean? He was like,
I see a
out.
lot of his pictures. He was like
some pretty good pictures.
Southwest.
I was really impressed. I said, "Wow." And he says, "Hi guys."
I said, "Wow," and he said, "Hey,
hey,
hola,
¿Qué pasó?" So yeah,
that's this week of 8-Bit Dad, and probably next week also.
Supersized show.
I'm Zach Rosenberg.
I'm Brad Ferguson. Until next week.
Well, until 2 weeks later, because we just did a 60-minute show. Part 1 and 2 coming soon.